Well, welcome back to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. And I got a real obscure one for you today. Something shot in the Philippines called A Taste of Hell. And the ad mat proclaimed, half corpse, half man, all killer. A Taste of Hell. Well, stars John Garwood, William Smith, Vic Diaz, and a host of Filipino regulars. And the whole thing starts, it's another WWII flick, because there was a lot of them shot in the Philippines. Of course, Vic Diaz is playing the evil Japanese officer, which he's done before in Night of the Cobra Woman. William Smith is there. He had also starred in another film shot in the Philippines, The Losers, sort of the Hells Angels in Vietnam type of deal. But Smith is sort of in the background on this whole thing, and it's like Vic Diaz is like stealing scenes like there's no tomorrow. He's the focal point of this whole thing. As a matter of fact, he's the most interesting thing in the film. It seems that this Lieutenant Barry is caught in the beginning of the film by Vic's troops, and all his men are slaughtered, and he is hit with some kind of grenade or fire or something like that, which we see him crawling out of a creek. He had a love interest, this Filipino woman who was also William Smith's love interest too. So basically it's this guy shambling through the jungle with a straw hat because his one arm is all fucked up, half his face is burnt and the one leg drags, and he walks around with a machete, taking out Japanese soldiers. So there's this whole really weird fucking love triangle thing, like I said, and all of a sudden Smith, who was leading these rebels, decides to attack the base, and there's ample carnage and stuff like that. But Lieutenant Barry does sneak in while Vic is basically raping his love interest. And he cuts Vic's head off with a fucking machete. Now, this is where it's a little fucked up, because Vic's head bounces on the floor, then lands upright, and it's Vic. I think Vic is actually under the floor, sticking his head through the floorboards. Well, this scene went overseas and got this thing almost branded as a video nasty because of the decapitation scene. They compared it to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which basically you never saw anything fucking happen anyway. But here it is, Vic's head goes flying off. And everybody's getting blown away. I mean, every character in the thing is getting blown away. The woman realizes that the burnt guy is, her ex-boyfriend, whatever, and they try to sneak out of the camp. Only she catches a bullet. Well, William Smith walks out of the house and walks out onto the scene rather, and sees this guy walking away with his girl and shoots him in the back. Well, he turns him over and sees who it is, only for him to catch a bullet, and he lays out next to them. So the three of them are dead. Every character that started the film is dead, and this logo creeps over the screen, and Satan smiled. Well, you're not going to find this film unless you can pick up a VHS of it or something off of eBay, which the rip I got was off a Star Maker one. This film was put out by, and I'm not shitting you, Manson International Pictures, and picked up for distribution by Harry Novak's Box Office Spectaculars. So probably this film is languishing in a vault with all of others Harry's stuff, because his wife has yet to cut a deal with anybody to release this. And I'm sure one of these companies is just sitting there waiting for Harry's wife to just drop dead, for lack of a better word, so they can just put the shit out without paying anybody. So that's where the film probably wound up. It's a very obscure film, and like I said, they were shooting a lot of World War II films in the Philippines, probably because a lot of equipment was fucking left over there too. And like I said, the main guy to watch is Vic Diaz, because he steals the scene. Smith seems to be sleepwalking his way through this thing and just runs around shooting a machine gun toward the end. And Garwood, like I said, was just ambling around dragging his leg. Garwood did a lot of TV and was, I think, a producer on The Knight Rider and some other shows. He also was in that other Filipino film, The Losers, and I think he passed away in 2020, I believe. I think Vic was the go-to guy in the Philippines, because it became more and more apparent that Vic was a fixer, sort of like the mob over here. If something had to be done, or you needed somebody to clear out, or you needed to talk to some of the rebels to get out of a certain area where they were filming, Vic would do it for you. So, Taste of Hell, interesting film. Not the greatest film, but it's worth watching just because of Vic and just because of the sheer outrageousness at the end, because some of the stuff that they do is insane. And it's pretty violent, pretty bloody, and all in all, worth a look. So that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the flip side.